Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you save. Better lock it in your pocket, taking this one.
Biden shakes hands with people that aren't even there when he gets off stage.
Yeah.
I think he's seeing ghosts. You see him on Jimmy Kimmel the other day? Well, he was just rambling.
Turn on the TV, look at the ads. When's the last time you saw biracial couples on TV? When's the last time you saw the way, people are selling products, they do ads to sell products, and they sell products when they appeal to people.
If he was anyone else, if he was a Republican, if that was Donald Trump doing that, every fucking talk show would be screaming for him to be off the air. And by the way, I'm not a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. I've had the opportunity to have him on my show more than once. I've said no every time. I don't want to help him. I'm not interested in helping him.
Houthis just attacked the United States, and the U.S. struck back, with them yesterday hitting a U.S.-owned cargo ship with an anti-ship missile. And that after on Sunday they fired an anti-ship cruise missile at the USS Laboon, which is an American destroyer. And that missile had to be intercepted by a U.S. fighter jet, with America striking the Houthis 3 times this past weekend. And today,
a new year means new laws take effect across the country today. Several states will have new gun regulations in 2024, including California, where guns are now banned in most public places. Minnesota passed a new red flag law, allowing guns to be taken from people deemed an imminent threat. And Illinois banned semi-automatic rifles and high-capacity magazines. Meanwhile, 22 states passed laws raising their minimum wage, affecting nearly 10 million workers. Other laws focus on hot-button issues like gender-affirming care. Idaho, Louisiana, and West Virginia have blocked minors from access to puberty blockers and hormone therapy. And on the top of book banning, a new Indiana law makes it easier to challenge books in school libraries, while Illinois will block state funding for public libraries that ban or restrict books.
Competition Secretary Austin?
I do.
I'm sorry. How you doing?
Was it adoption judgment for him not to tell you earlier?
Yes.
2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that. Not only this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine, and we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before. And I think that just creates fertile ground for our adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran. And that's what concerns me most.
Guys, something big is happening. New secret window, usdebtclock.org. Who can tell me what this is? I have no idea what this is. Somebody tell me.
To avoid going into wars or running thin. So now we're going to have to go into war.
The problem is this country doesn't know how to fix an economic downturn without going into war. And that dates as far back as the Civil War. Yes, in school we're taught that it was about freeing the slaves, but it was really about the North being threatened by the South's economic power and needing to take the South down by getting rid of their resource, which is slaves. So the North could usurp that power and create an economic powerhouse known as America. That's all to say it's in the very fabric of this country to go to war when there's some type of economic problem going on. This country relies on military investment to regulate our business cycles. It relies on military investment to give people jobs by inscripting them in the military and by fueling military industries. And yes, we've had time frames in history where we've reinvested in people at its core, but those are usually very brief and just not a part of how American society functions. And as much as ABC and CBS Evening News will try to frame our economy as stronger than ever with more jobs than ever, and try to frame involvement in Ukraine as something that's moral and just, and supporting Israel as something that's moral and just, that's all a framework to ensure that this country is ready to use its military prowess to restart the economy again in 2024. Now, I'm not saying all this because I think war is a way for us to fix our currency issue and for our inflation and for the general direction that the economy is going in. In fact, economists have proven that if we took the money that we have in foreign conflicts right now and reinvested in education, healthcare, public infrastructure, transportation, etc., we would have 1.4 million additional jobs in this country. But policies that reinvest in the people don't allow corporations to hoard wealth. They also don't allow the politicians whose campaigns are funded by them, who get kickbacks from them, and who have many investments in them to also hoard wealth. And so next year we'll likely see this country move towards foreign conflicts more aggressively than we've seen probably since the war in Iraq, because ultimately this country seeks to hoard wealth at every turn. And hoarding wealth is the simple answer to any question for why our country is doing something that is against the interest in humanity every time.
And right now we need a commander-in-chief who will lead us to victory in this war. That is this man standing right here. If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to defeat the deep state, vote Trump. If you want to fight inflation, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive our national identity in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. That's how we're going to win this in a landslide in November, like Reagan delivered in 1980. That's what we're going to deliver, and Donald Trump is going to deliver this November. Reunite this country. You guys do your part. Come out on Tuesday night. End this primary right here. Off to defeat Joe Biden in November. And our best days as a nation are still yet ahead of us. Vote Trump.
Have not talked about the subject of this, which would be the president. But let me tell you something that was so disturbing as I walked in to this chamber today. As I prepared, I said, what is the crime? Because when you're talking about impeachment, you're talking about high crimes or misdemeanors. And I can't seem to find the crime. And honestly, no one has testified of what crime they believe the president of the United States has committed. But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the me. This looks like more evidence of our national secrets, say on a stage at Mar-a-Lago. When we're talking about somebody that's committed high crimes, it's at least indictments. Let's say 32 counts related to unauthorized retention of national security secrets, 7 counts related to obstructing the investigation, 3 false statements, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, falsifying business records, conspiracy to defraud the United States, 2 counts related to efforts to obstruct the vote certification proceedings, 1 count of conspiracy to violate civil rights, 23 counts related to forgery or false document statements, 8 counts related to soliciting, and I could go on because he's got 91 counts pending right now. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States. And
it's important that you save your vote for the November election. We'll need your help in electing Democrats up and down the ticket. Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.